welcome to the Art of Yoga Project's YouTube channel. My name is Holly Saita, and today we're going to be working on a class focused on opening up in our shoulders and our hips, where we may feel like we store the most tension, and be a nice combination of restorative and active, little short, fun practice. One thing I want us to focus on today is kind thoughts, speech, and action, and how they all sort of mold together. So during our practice, being sure to speak to yourself kindly in your thoughts and translating that through your actions, right, and your words. Let's begin in a warm-up. So seated nice and comfortably, just orient yourself with your space. Notice that wherever you're at, if you're alone or with a group, if you have a mat or if you have props, today I have a block, I have an eye pillow, and I also have a bolster and a blanket. So a blanket can be used for a few different things. As far as the bolster, all of these are just things that can help support our practice. You can use a book instead of a block. You can use a blanket and roll it up in a circle instead of a bolster. Anything works. Also can just be you on your mat. So finding wherever that is, let's find that space for stillness, welcoming in the breath. Maybe inhale, notice as we reach our shoulders up towards our ears, and then exhale, relax your shoulders down away from your ears. You can sit in a nice comfortable cross-legged, or if you're sitting like me on your knees or your feet, inhale and exhale your shoulders up and down. Wherever you're at, we're going to find shoulder rolls, up and back, shoulder blades, and then up and forward with the shoulder blades. Finding a few movements, guiding with your breath, eyes opened or closed, and sipping in any sort of fresh air through the nose, and then maybe exhaling it out of the mouth. Sighing out of the mouth can help. Taking these shoulders in just a few more circles. Relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. Let's take the chin in towards our chest and just guide one ear over to one shoulder. As we inhale, half circle with the neck, and then exhale, guide your chin back towards your chest. Inhale, half circle the opposite direction, opposite ear to opposite shoulder. And then exhale, relax your chin down. Let's take full circles, inhaling. And maybe you don't want to go as big as my circles. Maybe you want to take them a little smaller. And then exhaling, closing your chin back towards your chest. Inhaling half of the circle, and then exhale the other half of the circle. We'll switch directions. Inhale, rise up. And then exhale, come down. Breaking off any of the tension from the neck, clearing that narrow passageway that connects our head to the body. Relaxing chin in towards our chest. Let's pause for a little bit of a palming. So with the palms, rub your palms in towards each other. Create any sort of intention, right? Transferring those thoughts into actions here. Also just feeling the warmth that we create between our palms when we rub them together. And then place your palms anywhere that might feel nice. Maybe the shoulders, maybe the head. Starting wherever. See if you can use your palm as a messenger from the heart, sending love in that direction. We'll do this another time, rubbing the palms together, creating that warmth, knowing that you have that power in your palms. And then again, resting the hands anywhere, maybe the belly or the hips this time. Imagining transferring that energy, that kind thought into our bodies. One more time, rubbing the palms together. Nice and vigorously, maybe fast, maybe slow. And anything that you need to, a message that you need to bring anywhere on your body, send that there now. Maybe it's the eyes, maybe it's the heart, maybe it's the same place all 3 times. pause, let our hands come down to our sides, and we'll inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, we're gonna twist over to one side. Inhale, reach up, tall spine. Exhale, twist opposite direction. And doing this a couple more times. Inhale, maybe gaze up. Exhale, gaze right and back. Warming up our spines. Inhale, reach up, gaze up maybe. Exhale, gaze up and left. And once more, inhale, rise up tall. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twisting. Inhale, back up to center. This time, roll the wrist down on your way down, nice and slow. And we're going to take a pause to just sort of check in. So maybe you are alone, maybe you are with others, but we're going to set a little check-in question. So checking in with yourself, how you're feeling in this moment, sharing that with the ones that surround you can always help if you're sharing the practice in the same space. Feeling free to pause and do so if you choose. And, maybe asking yourself, what is something that we think of when we think of peace? What is a thought that comes to mind when we think of someone who's a peacemaker, or when we think of the word peace in general? For me, I think of calmness, contentness, stillness, chill, just some things that come to mind. Maybe share with yourself what that is, or with others, before we hop into our practice. And remembering we can have our blocks and our bolsters and blankets or whatever we have just set aside for now. And we're going to begin on our backs. So resting down on the back, finding yourselves all the way down with your spines straight, your legs straight, your arms straight. And take a moment to just pause. Before beginning to move, after doing a little short warm-up to get ourselves in our senses, connected with our bodies, taking that time to pause and catch up with the mind. Notice what you were doing earlier, what you might have to do later, and just bring yourself to this current moment. We can think of our mat, remember, as that playground or as that island, someplace to escape. For now, leaving your troubles at the door. You can pick them up when you're done if you choose. And clearing this space now for yourself and your practice. First, balling up when you're ready. Bring your knees in nice and close. Hug your forehead in towards your knees. Find your ball posture. Rolling around on the spine for a moment. Side to side. Hugging your knees in nice and close. And then once we're ready, we're going to bring our hands back behind our legs. We're going to rock up with the hips, down with the hips. Find some momentum, find some silliness, find some playfulness. Rock and roll. And finding maybe faster. We're going to come up to a stance in kind of a fun way here. And if you come up with momentum, it feels like it might not be so much work. So bringing yourself up to a stance. You can do it a couple of times if you choose. Oh, and then if you trust yourself, right, you can come up with some momentum to a stance. Otherwise, coming up to stand however feels nice for you. Setting up your blocks at the front of the mat for now. If you have one or two, it doesn't matter, or none. We're going to begin just by bringing our palms by our side. Reach your right arm down, and then your left arm down. Doing sort of a tick-tock side to side. Stretching laterally in the hips. You can stand at the top of your mat, facing the front of your mat. And then reach your right arm up and over, getting a nice lateral stretch from the fingers down to the toes. Lateral meaning the side of our body, the long side, getting long. And then exhale, bring that hand down, reach your opposite arm up, left arm if you're with me, left arm parallel with the ear, getting that lateral stretch in, opening up in the rib cage and the side body. And remembering not to collapse on one side, so that is, we're opening up one side, but that doesn't mean we're closing off the other. So stay long in both sides of your body. Make this comfortable for you as you move in and out one more time. Opposite arm up. Reach the length up even through your legs. Get long in your legs and reach up and over. Maybe bring your hands together and reach them over in a love gun position. Create sort of a crescent moon shape with your body. Inhale, maybe come up to center with this love gun up high. And then come over to the other side, creating that crescent-like shape over to the opposite direction. Expanding our capacity here in the lungs. Breathing, each exhale offers an invitation for your muscle fibers to relax that much deeper. Inhale, rise, and then exhale, roll your wrist out, coming back to a tall mountain. Posture at the front of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up, and then exhale, sweep one leg back and your arms back with it. And inhale, come back up to a stance. Exhale, reach your right leg back and your arms back with it. A little balance, maybe focusing into an area in front of you and reach up now. This time we'll come all the way back in a little airplane-like, so imagine your arms were wings. Again, maybe bend your right knee if you need to. We're going to land the left foot back behind us. A little balancing. Inhale, reach your arms up. Find your high lunge. Exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Frame your front foot. Bring your back knee to the floor, back shin to the floor, and see if we can walk our hands up to our knee. We're doing a little crescent lunge here. So lunging, and maybe scoot your right foot forward a bit. Maybe fold your mat over if you need, or if you have sensitive knees, you can place the blanket beneath your knees. Anything you have access to. Find your low lunge, hands again crossed on the front knee. And create that nice moon shape up from the hands, back down to the foot. Keep your hands down on your knee if you choose. Reach them up to the sky if you choose. All of these are options, moving with what feels best for you and going back to those kind thoughts. Transfer them into kind actions in your body. Never doing anything that is painful, right? Maybe feeling a little tension. Bring the hands down, noting that difference. We're going to come to a half split. So once we're ready, we're going to reach our hips back, pointing our right foot forward and up. Block can be here beneath the hands. Block can be beneath the calf. You can use like one block like this or two blocks framing your leg. And what I want us to do is just feel a half split pose. So feel our hips over our knee, and maybe start with the arms up and then come down, hinging at your hips, trying so not to round off and close your heart. Try to stay open here in your chest, opening up here in the backs of the legs and the hamstrings. Noting that some of us are at different points. We're all at different experiences, different bodies, different times. So if you want to go a little further or not take it as far as maybe you've done before or the people surrounding you, can you close your eyes and breathe into whatever it is that you are feeling, your unique feeling. And if any judgment tries to come up during the practice, remembering going back to the kind thoughts, being careful of your thoughts, letting them, those harsh judgments, kind of float away like a cloud. We're going to come back up eventually using assistance from the blocks. Bend your right knee again, bring your right knee above your right ankle, sweep your right leg back, find yourself in a tabletop. If you need to fold over your mat, if you need to use your blanket on your knees, if you don't, that's fine too. We're going to reset with a couple of spinal undulations, so looking up, looking down towards the belly button, and move any way that feels nice for you. So up and down, side to side, wagging your tail, remembering to be fun and silly and playful. Inhaling and exhaling with your movements. We're going to find a puppy dog. So reach the arms forward, sit your tail back, maybe wiggle side to side. And grow your dog up to a downward facing dog. Let your head hang. Yes, no, maybe so. Shake it out. And then once you're ready, tiptoe your feet all the way to the top of the mat. Find yourself in a flat back. Maybe reach your gaze forward as well as your hips so they're over your ankles. And then exhale, forward fold. Let it all out. And rise up nice and tall, back to the beginning. New sides, new beginnings. New potential, knowing that that side may be completely different than this side, and that's okay. So when we're ready, we're going to start again. By this time, reaching arms out into the side, right leg back. Find a little balance and stability, and to help us do that, you might focus on something in front of you that's not moving. When we're balancing, that can help. If you want to add challenge, you can close your eyes in your airplane. Try to fly with your eyes closed. And if you fall, that's okay. Coming back, all part of the practice. Bring your right foot back. Eventually find yourself in that tall, long lunge. You're just activating all those muscles in the legs. Let's now, we're stretching them. Let's activate them now. One breath here. And then exhale, bring the hands down. Bring the knee down. And once we're ready, we're going to find that half splits again. So first, bringing the hands to the knee, interlace them in maybe that way that feels kind of weird, like you have one less finger, the way you did it differently last time. Let's enjoy the crescent lunge for a moment longer, finding a good spot for your front knee, making sure it's not forward or backward too much. It's just right above your ankle. Pausing, reaching your arms up to the sky, create that shape from fingers to toes of that moon. Going back to your kind thoughts. And then exhale your hands down. Again, find your block. If you have one or two, remember a book can work, 2 books. Anything to help bring your hands off of the ground. Bring your spine to a straighter position. Flex your front toes, point them towards the sky or the ceiling. Bring the hands to the hips for now, and when we do our half splits, we want to remind our hips to stay squared towards the front of the mat. So keeping everything in alignment. Press the top of your right foot into the mat. Come down, hinge at your hips, bring your hands down. We can have gorilla hands, we can have spider fingers, whatever works. If you don't have a block, if you do, use it. Keep your spine straight, keep open in your heart, broad throughout your chest and your collarbones. And this could be an easy pose that a lot of us get stuck in and push ourselves, or maybe compare ourselves to how the other side felt, or to how it felt last time we did it, or to how it looks when our friend does it. But remembering to just come back to the kind thoughts, the kind affirmations, and maybe an may I statement. If you're feeling discomfort, may you feel at ease. Repeating whatever it is that helps in your mind. Translating those actions, those words into actions. And take a couple more moments here to yourself, breathing into the back of the left leg. Our hamstrings are really important, connected to the back, all the muscles in the back and the hip. So if your hamstrings are feeling tight, you can often have a tight lower back or pain in your hips even. Rebend your left knee and come back up. So that's what we're here for. That's what we're here to just help cleanse the body, help the body be on its way in a more natural feeling for us. It doesn't have to cause pain. Bring the hands down. Bring the left leg back. Pause in your child's pose, which means bring your knees out wide, your toes together, and sit your hips back. We don't want our hips up towards anything. We want our hips back towards our heels. And once we're there, we're going to spill our heart forward and between our legs. Find your block, set it in front of you, and just rest your head here for a moment. Take a moment to pause and just notice anything that may have come up for you throughout class so far. Repeating those kind thoughts to self. Feeling an openness in the hips. Maybe you wiggle side to side a little bit. This can be a good pose to help us bring us back to that feeling of innocence, as being a kid again. Maybe you rock your head side to side on your block. Rocking your head on your block or on your fist. Sort of relaxing the mind, the frontal lobe area. Behind the forehead. Relaxing your thoughts. Knowing we have so much going on within us. Bringing yourself back to this breath, back to this moment, and back to this posture. Before we rise ourselves back up, removing the block for now. Find your downward facing dog again. So spread your fingers wide, reach into the front of the mat. Downward dog can be good for energy if you're needing to collect any energy. Full body stretch. I think that's why dogs are so happy, right? They get to do this all day long. So feel yourself open in the shoulders. Press your palms down. Press down in the L shape of your palm so you protect your wrist. And look back, shake your head. Yes, no, maybe so. Walk your hands back towards your feet and rise up nice and tall. Let's just do one more balancing practice before we come to a little cool down. So beginning, we'll find our gaze forward. So pointing wherever that may be, something that's not moving, right? Something that's not me, something still in the room. Let's go ahead and this time sweep our right leg instead of back. Let's sweep our right leg in and forward and hold our knee, creating kind of that shape, lunge-like shape, the front knee. Roll your right ankle out. Take a pause and see if you can lean away from your right leg. Focus at that spot. The whole time as we transition, we're going to be moving, and that's okay. Bring your right foot, bring it the instep of your left leg. And this can look like a tree pose. It can look like your foot inside of the thigh, or your foot can be inside your calf. Anywhere. We can hold the foot still, the leg, if this works for you better. Finding that focus and that gaze, though, can help us balance. And balancing can help us focus, vice versa as well. And like a tree, I want you to sew your legs together like a trunk. Press your foot and your leg together. They kind of resist each other. Root your foot into the ground and let's branch out. Reach your arms out nice and tall and wide. And take another breath here as we reach, root, and rise, both at the same time. Maybe you fall, that's okay. Maybe you're moving a little bit. Even real trees aren't completely still. Wherever you're at, coming back for a moment, finding that focus, and then releasing that leg down. Go ahead and shake it out. Take a couple of jumps, don't take yourself too seriously, maybe side to side. Maybe let a little butterfly breath in. Tired horse breath as we flutter the lips, just to let ourselves not take the practice too seriously, also be playful and fun. Let's start with the left leg now, reaching your right leg down, finding that focus. And maybe when we're finding that dristi, or that focus, we can also think of something that we're really focused on. What may that be? Maybe that'll help you power through. Let's bring our left leg up now. Instead of reaching it back like before, reaching it forward. Find a slight bend in your right knee and roll out your left ankle. Find some stillness, leaning away, creating a counterbalance with your leg and yourself. And then once ready, without looking away, we can move, we can do things, but we're still focused, right? Whatever that goal is that you have in mind, maybe you set, we're still focused on that in front of us. Place your left foot either the inside of your thigh, the inside of your knee, your calf, or just your ankle. The toes can be on the floor. Finding a balance that works for you, or keeping your left leg in and up. Whatever works for you, anything but pressing the foot into the knee. We don't want to, the knee doesn't go this way, side to side. It only goes forward, backwards. So let's not push our joint out. So keeping your practice safe, bring your foot wherever is comfortable, finding that balance works for you. Hands, maybe on the hips, they may be kind of wherever to help yourself balance. Let's branch out and reach up and notice how much easier it may be to root and rise at the same time. Pausing, maybe close your eyes and notice how much more difficult it may be to balance in this tree posture with your eyes closed. Keep your eyes open and keep your eyes set on the goal also. Hands float back down, leg floats back down, take yourself again, do your twists and taps. Be mindful of the objects surrounding you wherever the space is that you may be practicing. We're going to come down for a final relaxation. So when we're ready, we'll sit in an imaginary chair. So let's create a little bit of heat so we enjoy our cool down that much more. Sitting down in our imaginary chair, tucking our tailbones, and instead of poking out our butts, let's see if we can find our shoulders over our hips. And although it may not look like a lot, it can feel like a lot. Reach your arms up, right? And then even during this tough sit in our imaginary chair, can we think of a time, an easeful time? Ease our thoughts, relax your shoulders down. Sit down lower, maybe reach your hands forward and find yourself all the way down on your butts. Setting up for our final relaxation. We're gonna do a couple more cool down poses. Your bolster can be nearby if you have one, your blanket, anything you need, bringing it here now. Let's rock back into a boat pose to just rock ourselves all the way down to a seat. Another fun thing for boat is you can have the block between your ankles to keep your feet hip width distance, keep your inner thighs working. Float yourself all the way down when you're ready to the ground. Feel your core heat up. Again, even during this time, being something nice and not being too hard on yourself. Relax yourself down on your back. We're going to stretch out the belly in a bridge pose. So bring your feet towards you. Graze your fingers on your ankles or your heels. Press your hands into the mat and lift your hips up. And then exhale your hips down. This time let's bring our arms up with our hips. Inhale. Moving dynamically with our breath. Exhale, hands down. Do this a few more times. Press feet down. Inhale, hips and arms rise. Exhale, upper back, middle back, lower back, coming down. Once more, inhale, rise. And exhale, lowering down. Go ahead and tick-tock your legs side to side. Washing out any sort of muck that may be left. Letting your hips get a little massage on the ground as we tick-tock our windshield wiper side to side. Setting up in your final relaxation, noting that you can grab an eye pillow for that extra support to help eliminate distractions if you choose to keep your eyes open or closed, or just softly gaze at the ceiling or the sky above you. You can have a bolster and you can place it beneath your knees. Another option for this class that I can offer for the bolster to open up in the shoulders more, and one of my favorite restorative postures, is to rest your blanket or your bolster beneath your spine as you lie down flat. These are all options. Okay, you can also just lie down flat, simply enjoy your final relaxation, totally still, with or without props. And as we rest in our final relaxation, can you feel your toes out to the side, your palms open to the sky or to the ceiling? Noticing the rise and fall of your belly. Inhaling, maybe imagining a flower or a circle blossoming and opening and expanding. And then exhale, bring it back and imagine it closing off. Connecting your breath with some sort of visual can help some of us connect with our breath more deeply, more mindfully. Inhaling into this shape, and then exhaling, watch the shape disappear. Inhale, watch the shape grow. And then exhale, watch the shape disappear. Be careful of your thoughts, because your thoughts become your words. And be careful of your words, for your words become your actions. Be careful of your actions, for your actions become your character. Be careful of your character, for your character can become your destiny. So thinking how we can translate all of this into some meaning for the self. Thinking one final kind thought to self. Before inviting some movement back into your body, slowly wiggling your fingers and your toes and your nose. Taking more time in your final relaxation is always welcomed. You can pause, you can go back to this moment, but for now, removing any of your props to the side. Bending your knees and assisting yourself over to your side. Resting your head in your arms or in your palms. And then inviting yourself back up to a seat, but knowing there's no rush. You can always take with you whatever it is that you're feeling now off of the mat into the world with you. Taking a moment to maybe check out with yourself or the ones surrounding you if you choose. Thinking about a kind thought or action or word that you can share. But for now, I thank you so much for joining here on the Art of Yoga Project. Again, my name is Holly Saita, and I hope to see you all again soon. Join me in one final gesture. Salutation, we'll inhale, reach our arms up when we're ready, stretching, and reaching into that potential, reaching and breathing in. Same breath, we all share. Exhale your hands down the center of your body. Hope you all have peace in your thoughts, and in your words, and in your actions. Light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.